Hey, I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. I feel human today. My voice is a little off still. My energy is much better. I'm in the home stretch. I would say I'm probably 80%. So thank you for the good wishes, the prayers, and the concern, and your thoughts. You guys are awesome, and I love you for it. This is going to be a weird video, so stick around. Haff's hot sauce, great company. This is their hot sauce, Painapple. And this is sort of funny because there's a different sauce in the past named Painapple, and they've sorted it all out. And this is copacetic, so I'm kind of excited for them. But this is really cool. Look at that. Can you guys see what the Painapple is doing? Oh, you can't because it's biting a dude's hand. The pineapple is biting a person's hand. It's pretty bizarre. I love it. All right, so let me give you the ingredients on this. And wait till I tell you the story. Listen, I wonder if I should do it now. Now I'll do it after. But please stick around because I got something really weird to tell you about. Ingredients is water, pineapple. The pineapple consists of pineapple juice, apple cider vinegar, onions, carrots, agave, ghost peppers, limes, raisins, ginger, garlic, sea salt, turmeric, cinnamon, cumin, xanthan gum. For the record, if you look at the ingredients of the other sauce with the same name, very different. A few very different. So I'm kind of excited about this. Haff's is a great company, man. So this thing that I'm going to tell you about is really sort of weird. I don't ever, I think when you're a little kid, I don't know, I guess some people, do you believe in coincidences? A coincidence? Or do you believe things happen for a reason? If you're somebody that's watching this and you believe in coincidences, I want you to say something in the comment section. If you don't, say something. And don't chastise people if they believe in coincidences or they don't. I'm just curious. Because I don't believe that there's any such thing. I think every single thing that happens in this world happens for a reason. And it's our job to see that reason. And if we're paying attention and we're aware, we have our eyes open, sometimes we can see what that reason is. But sometimes if we're not, man, oh man, this rapper just did not want to give up the ghost. It held on, it fought hard, it was a valiant effort. But you know what? I'm tougher than that rapper. I've never lost to a rapper. Do you know that? Do you? You need to know that. I'm batting 1,000 against rappers. When I say rappers, I mean this kind of rapper. Let's shake this up. Get my spoon out here. I got it. Let me get the aroma going on. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's lovely. Beautiful aroma. Wow. Wow, it's totally different than what I thought it was going to be. Now, obviously, there's pineapple in it, but it just has a beautiful aroma. Kick on, if you have Smell-O-Vision 3.0, does anybody still have the 1.0? If you haven't, there's the 2.0 and now the 3.0. It's for iOS and Android and iOS, but there. Do you smell that? What a unique aroma. This is soft and beautiful and sensual and just... wow. All right. I'm having a moment. All right, so here's the pour of Painapple. It's a little on the loose side as far as consistency. Haff's hot sauce. Painapple. I am Johnny Scoville, and this is JC. Lime is beautiful in this. So is the ginger and the garlic and the onion. Everything kind of plays together. It's a complex sauce. It's balanced well. It's beautiful. Very different. Lovely sauce. The pineapple really, it's really balanced well. In fact, You know, the raisins probably add a little bit of a sweetness to it, but it's just a beautiful sauce. The onions and the garlic play perfectly. The sweetness doesn't just come from the raisins, it also comes from the agave. Beautiful. All right, now let's talk about the heat level. It's for, it's got ghost peppers in it. So if you're not a chili head, it'd be pretty ambitious for you to try this. I'm not sure if you'd like it. You certainly wouldn't be tasting the nuances and all the subtleties that I'm getting in it if you're new at it. But if you're a chili head, 5. That'd be a 6. Probably a 6 and above. There'd be some people calling it a 5. It's a beautiful sauce. Very, very lovely. It's just very tasty. It's great. Everything from eggs, ribs, poultry, and even popcorn. I believe it. It'd be good on ice cream. Listen, you know what? It's funny. You know, back in the day, hot sauce was just for tacos or whatever. You know, burritos. We jumped the curb for everything. Everything. And you want to hear why this video is so weird? And I don't believe in coincidences. I have a friend of mine I've known for a long, long time. And yesterday we were talking, the subject of forgiveness came up. We talked about it a little bit. And I wake up this morning and I get an email about forgiveness. This isn't, Dear Abby or whatever. It's not like a Vice column or a call-in show, but I get people that ask me advice sometimes. A lot of times it's about sobriety. Sometimes it's about being a YouTuber. But this was interesting, and I got permission to read it. His name is Alex, and this is the letter. It's a trippy one. So listen to this. Dear Johnny, first of all, long-time viewer, first time emailing you. In fact, this is the first time I've ever emailed a YouTuber. But you seem genuine, and I have a feeling you would be willing to help. This is not pepper related at all, so if you don't respond, I suppose I would understand. Here is my issue. I have a friend I've known forever. We are buds. We've played countless hours of video games together over the years. I know his family, and he knows mine. Yesterday, he confessed that he had lied to me almost 10 years ago. And although it was a matter that doesn't seem important at all now, when it happened, it was a big deal. I believed him then, and everyone moved past it. He has gotten sober from meth. He's recently gotten sober from meth, which I didn't even know he was doing, which I thought that was kind of interesting. But I get it. I do. If you're good at it, you can hide your I get it. Part of his recovery is making amends with people that he has wronged. He came clean about the lie that he had told me, and he asked me for my forgiveness. I told him I would need to think about it. I don't know if I can forgive him. I get it. So I'll forgive him, and he'll go on happy like nothing ever happened, and I'll be left thinking about this. Here is my question. Should I forgive him? I don't know how. Sincerely, Alex. By the way, if I can be honest, the reason I decided to email you is I've watched you get attacked by trolls. For as long as I've watched you, you don't seem bothered by it. In fact, in a video once, I heard you talk about not holding grudges. I bet my answer is in that video, but I don't know what video it was, and there's over 6,000 of them. There's actually only like 5,000 and change, but I get it. Help me if you can. It's destroying me from the inside out. Thank you. All right. Very, very interesting, because I was just talking to a friend of mine about forgiveness. So I don't know. Here's the thing about forgiveness. And I'm selfish. I know if it may come as a surprise to you, but I'm selfish, and that's why I forgive. Somebody that wrongs me doesn't ever need to come to me to ask for forgiveness in order to be forgiven. And the reason is I'm too selfish to carry around that in my dome. Do you know what I mean? I've had people have done things that like I guess in a normal world they would need to come to me and say, hey, I'm sorry, do you forgive me? But I don't want, I refuse to walk around and letting a beef stay up here. I won't do that. I've had people say to me, I owe you an apology. I'm like, for what? They're like, for what? You don't know? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I won't hold a grudge because I'm too selfish to do that. So, I know it sounds bad. It's probably one of the only areas in my life that I'm selfish, you know? But when you forgive somebody, is it for you? Is it for them? You said it yourself. You forgive them. If you forgive them, they walk around happy, and you know, and you're sitting around thinking about it. You've got to get to the point where you don't think about it. Wash your hands of it, you know. And I don't know how that. You know, here's the thing, and I'm a believer, and the basis of my faith is that I'm forgiven. So if my Savior forgave me, how in the world can I not forgive somebody else for something so minor? You know what I mean? No matter what someone's done to me, it's minor. You know what I mean? So I don't know what your friend did. I don't know. And I know that sometimes things can be really, really difficult. It's a hard one. It sounds really, I don't want to make it sound cavalier, but you just need to forgive. I mean, why would you want, like, holding a grudge? I heard someone say once that or I read somewhere that holding a grudge is like you drinking poison and the person you're mad at hoping they die. It's going to, you know, you said, the last thing you said, Alex, and your thing is destroying me from the inside out. Well, stop it. Stop it. And I know it's easier said than done. I mean, I've seen some things, you know, I've seen some videos where, here's the thing. I don't know. There's beauty in forgiveness, I think. And I'll tell you something. If you've got somebody that, the people that go after me, when I forgive them, all of them, I forgive them. They're just doing what they're doing. It's like pouring coals on their head. Your enemy can't stand it when you forgive them. Now, this person is a friend of yours, so that's not the motivation, but don't carry around that in your heart. It's like, it's in your head. It's destructive. You know, let it go. Wash your hands of it. It's freeing. You know what I mean? I don't know where it comes from. Maybe it comes from my faith. I don't know, but I'm a very, very good guy at forgiving. I can't think of I do not hold a grudge. There's not one transgression that's been put upon me that I have yet to forgive. And the reason is I got a short time on this to roam around doing what I do. You know what I mean? It can be counted in seconds. Like if there's an actual number of seconds I'm going to be alive, how many left? And just a couple ticked away while I was telling you that. But there's a finite amount of time I've got. How in the world can I justify 1 second of it? Walking around angry. I'll tell you another funny story. This is kind of interesting. I was at a dinner once with Muhammad Ali, okay, and a few other celebrities, and we were having dinner. It's a long story. I think I told it on a different channel. I was working for a company where they were spokespeople for this company, so I got very, very fortunate. I was sitting at this dinner table. Gary U.S. Bonds was there. A couple other big-name celebrities were there at this table. And one of the people, I didn't talk. I don't think I said 5 words at this whole dinner. I just was like, we're in this big restaurant in Toronto, and we're in the center of this restaurant, this big table. And you can't know what it was like. Every single eye in that restaurant was staring at our table. Not me, but they're staring at Ali and all these people, because there were some famous people at this table, and then like me. So this person said to Muhammad Ali, at the dinner table, he said, "Man, I've been the biggest fan of yours forever." He says, "Is the Parkinson's, is that from fighting? Tell me how it happened." And I was just like, holy mackerel, like dinner table conversation, what? And this is the story Ali said. I heard him say it. He said that, and I heard it from a friend of his, who was in every single the locker room before and after every fight he ever was in. He was in there. And the morning of the fight, it was his last fight. I think it was Larry Holmes. I can't quite remember. But it was his last fight. He didn't feel well. And he said to, I think it was Angelo. I can't remember who his trainer was. Angelo Dundee? I don't remember who his trainer was. But he said to his trainer, I don't feel good. I'm sick. I don't want to fight. And they said, fine, you're the champ. He goes, this is going to be my last fight. I'm going to go out like a champ. I'm going to go out fighting, feeling good. He goes, fine, you're the champ. This is the story he told. He said that Don King came into the dressing room, the locker room before the fight, because he was already suited up, dressed up, gloves, everything taped up. He says, I don't want to fight. I don't feel good. I think it was Angelo Dundee was his trainer. But he goes, I don't feel good. I'm going to put this off, and we're going to postpone it, because it's my last fight. I want to be 100%. And Don King said, it's fight night. Everybody's here. He goes, we're going to give you a shot of vitamin B12. It'll help you fight off whatever you're dealing with. You'll be fine. Now, vitamin B12, you stick in muscle mass. Well, whatever they gave him, they tapped a vein and put it in a vein intravenously and not intramuscular. Okay? So, now, as he's telling this story, he just said, he goes, I didn't feel the punches. What Ali was famous for was rolling with the punches. He'd get hit, he'd just roll with it. If you're hitting him this way, he'd roll that way. So it would take a lot of the sting off your punch, and that he was just really good at rolling with the punches. And he didn't do so well at that. He got more headshots in that fight than almost all the other fights put together. And he was never the same. And as he told this story, I'm not going to say who it was, but one of the other famous people at this table said, I hate Don King. God, I hate him for that. And Ali, he was sitting here. Ali was looking this way because he was telling the story this way. He shot over and looked at him, and he had a look in his eye. And he said, you're going to hate somebody, you fool? This is what Muhammad Ali said. He said, if I have 2 hours left, how can I spend a minute of it hating? And boy, it was an interesting moment at the table, because I think if you were sitting apart from the table and you weren't a part of it, you could tell something weird happened in that moment. But he said, how can you hate anybody, fool? That's what Muhammad Ali said. So, Alex, I don't know what your friend did to you. And it doesn't really matter. Do you want to go to your grave? Do you want to carry around that in your head and feel the angst of that and have that wearing away in your head for the rest of your life? I'm guessing your answer is probably no, right? I mean, who would want that? That's torment. It's mental torment. Who would want that, right? Let it go. Forgive him. Doesn't mean you have to be his best friend again. Doesn't mean you have to break bread with him. Doesn't mean he has to eat at your table. But what it means is you're not going to walk around with the anger of something that happened long ago. Okay, I know it sounds easier said than done. When I first read your letter, I wasn't even sure I was going to address it. But then when I was thinking about the irony of the irony of my friend, you know, so you just have to forgive. You know, the funny thing is, the thing with my friend, I don't think I'm forgiven. It's something that I've done. Just years of pain that I've caused. And this friend of mine says I'm forgiven. I just don't believe I am. And it doesn't matter, because that's in that person's head, not mine. I have to move forward knowing that I have to try to live a better life and be a better man and a better human being, a better example for my children and for everybody else, right? So whether that person forgives me or not is academic to me moving forward. I hope they do, because I don't want them to, you know, I hope they do. But I'm sorry you're going through that, Alex. Anyway, the reason I ultimately did decide isn't even because of what happened with my friend and I. Do you want to know why it is? I ran a business for years. I was a director over a lot of offices, regionals. So I had a whole bunch of offices underneath me. And when the person who put me in that position, you know what they said to me? They said, listen, don't be a dope. If there's a problem happening in one of your offices, it's happening in all of them. There's no such thing as a problem that's happening in one of your offices uniquely, period. If it's happening in one of your offices, it's happening in all of them. So and we are like offices. If it's happening Look, it happened to me yesterday with a friend of mine. I opened my email this morning. I get a letter from Alex. It's happening to all of us. We're all in the same game. It's part of the human condition. Life's not going to be to the point where you never, ever, it's just smooth sailing. No one's ever going to cross you. Forgiveness is never going to be something you have to deal with. Said nobody. So if it's happening in one office, it's happening in all of them. It's happening in me. It's happening in Alice. It's happening with all of us. So everybody here can gain something from this today if you choose to. Forgive. Don't hold grudges. It's not for the person you're forgiving. It's for you. Do you care about your head? Do you care about the condition of your head? If you do, then don't hold a grudge. Boy, I know it sounds so much easier than it is. I hope it was helpful. Anyway, sorry for that. It was just it was just so weird to me. It's like nothing happens by accident. I almost had a stroke when I opened my email this morning. It was crazy. Anyway, in the description box, you're going to see Haff's hot sauce. Great company, great sauces. Painapple is beautiful. It's a beautiful tasting sauce. It's incredible smelling. It tastes great. It's got a nice little burn, and you will like it. Tell him I sent you. Right there is my son Johnny Jr., the lifeboat. Right there are all the challenges I've done, and pepperology here. Forgive somebody. Tell somebody you love them. Have a great day. I love you guys. I'm Johnny Scoville. This was Chase the Heat.